This is definitely going to be the most weight we've had in the tray before hooking up the Jayco. So what we'll do, let's see how far these springs do sag. That's 480 mil. We're going to put the 3 bikes. She got bugged. Rain did stop play quite a few times trying to get this load done today. All the fuel, the generator, then we're going to load the Jayco up. We're going to measure the sag that we get with all that weight on the back. Big load, lots of fuel, 4 Yamahas on board. Now that's come down to 430. So let's add a bit more weight to it. More saggage. So we got 395. So what do we start at? 480. That's an 85 mil sag. The bags are empty. So 30, we've come up to 410. I think we'll go up to 35. So that's finished up 50 mil lower than before we started. So with no weight in the tray at all. I think that's acceptable. There's a fair bit of weight in the tray. Couple 100 kilos of ball weight. We'd still be well inside our GVM. So that's how we'll start the trip, and we can always adjust it a little bit down the highway if need be. The LC79 runs all new electronics. CAN bus. Now what is CAN bus? I tell you what I am missing in these wet conditions. I'm actually missing the manual. Wow. Bit of build up there. Off to Toyota today for the 1 month 1000k complimentary checkup. And I feel like I'm already on the back foot, having near 1500 kilometers on the clock already. Now you always feel like you're being tested when you go back for any type of warranty or service from Toyota, like you're going to the principal's office. So I thought I'd better get in here, give it a good clean. It's a little bit early to be using the gurney at home, but I want to get all that mud off, give them no excuses. I'm going to be blacklisted already, I think, having done the diff breathers, and they're going to think, oh my goodness, look, he's cut the bumper, he's put bigger tyres on, and fingers crossed, I'm not waiting for hours on end. It looks funny having the window winder in them. Well, the vinyl floor looks nice. And a close look in that corner, and I see rust. The known thing, huh? 54,000 on this 2019 model. It looks immaculate, but stock, that's 100k there. That's the new tuner right there. Clean bill of health given. Bit of a list there that they did. They said go home, load it up and give it hell. Now with the catch can a high priority for us, we're going to stop in and see the boys at Western Filters, see if they've got a kit ready for this 2.8. Now I've been running their catch can kits for a while now. We've got one in the Fortuner, I've got one in the white 79. Their bracketry is immaculate. The hoses are flared where need be. They come with hose clamps. So they said, come back in the new year after this first run we do. Leave the car for a day and they'll fabricate up the brackets needed to make a kit, which they can then start to sell. So I'm excited about that. But a couple of 1000 Ks, it won't hurt the motor, not having the can on. On the way home, we will do a speedo check with the 285s. Now that I've got the Apple CarPlay going, I've got Waze on that. Miserable old day. So with cruise control set, we can see here we are exactly 4% out. So sitting on 100 on my Speedo equals 104 to the police radar. With that information now, our fuel consumption numbers are 4% better. I tell you what I am missing in these wet conditions. I'm actually missing the manual. Now I know I can go back to the manual option on this vehicle, but you know, when you're gearing down into corners instead of braking, I'm missing that right now. I feel like I'm braking a lot more with the auto because I don't know what it's going to do gear-wise. I think too because the conditions are quite slippery that I'm feeling that way. For example, if I'm in 4th gear and I'm coming up to a sweeping corner or I'm slowing down at the same time as turning, I would go back to 3rd and use the engine braking on the manual. Now I probably wouldn't use the brake in that circumstance, but with the auto, the only way that I'm able to slow down on that sweeping bend is to touch the brake. There's the breather, which looks like it's got like a little filter in it for the transmission. Let's see if I can bring it down to show you. And it goes up and just sits the back of the motor. So whether we pull this end off and actually just extend this hose rather than change the fitting on the end, you can see there the selector with the rod that runs way back. So I want to know what that other breather was at the top. So there's the breather for the transfer. Wow, bit of build up there. Whole idea of a breather is to not get that pressure. Typically, a breather should let pressure out, but then if you do submerge into water, it doesn't suck. It won't suck back in. But the plastic one that's on the transmission can go out, will also suck back. Now I can't suck back. This is a typical diff breather. So it's got like a one-way stop valve on it to not let it suck stuff back in. So when you do go through water, it's supposed to shut down and not let it in. But the auto doesn't seem to do that. So what we might do, I'll extend this one and I'll put that back on there because it may, I'm new to the automatic transmission, it may need a two-way. I'll put it up high enough that it'll only suck water in if we take the whole bonnet under. So the transfer case was the same as the diff. So there's your gearbox, and then here's your transfer case. So this is Amelia's Christmas present from Mum and Dad, a brand new DEP expansion chamber. Now normally with the Yamahas, you don't get the option of the polished, and this looks awesome. This tank, before we go and throw a lot of weight and hook the Jayco up to it. So 240 kilometers. We'll add the 4% to it. Now that was 36 litres. So that's just a tad under 7 kilometers per litre. So we're at 14.2 litres per 100. That's unladen, city driving and a little bit of freeway driving. Now it's working out a couple of litres worse off per 100 than the Fortuner, but it's still a tad better than the V8. Also a bit of an update on that failed attempt of finding the central door lock module. The LC79 is running totally new electronics using CAN bus. Pretty high tech for a 70 series. Now CAN bus is actually two terms that get joined together. So CAN stands for Controller Area Network, and bus, which refers to the physical wires a CAN system uses. All technical mumbo jumbo to me, but it does mean that I will get an alarm, but not the way that I'm used to. So the alarm company are writing the code so that they can use the CAN bus alarm. Here's this little 4-cylinder, a V8 eater. Stay tuned, the upcoming episode will have all the action from this upcoming run. Fuel consumption numbers, low range testing, pulling the Jayco through the rivers. We'll have it all. Fingers crossed and touch wood that everything goes well for us over the next couple of 1,000 kilometers. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.